Okay, business and technology. The very first paper of ACCA. Until now, we have covered till chapter 17. Let's start chapter 18. The name of chapter 18 is leadership, management, and supervision. Leadership, management, and supervision. I mean, this chapter is mainly about management. I mean, there are some theories, 5, 6 theories on management, and there are 6, 7 theories on leadership. I mean, this chapter is totally about management and leadership, and there is a little definition about supervision. What is supervision? So let's discuss what is management first. Management. I mean, business management. What is management? Management is about planning, organizing, communicating, coordinating, and controlling what activities of the organization. So management is about planning, organizing, communicating, coordinating, and controlling what activities of the business, activities of the organization. Why? To achieve its objective. To achieve its objective. So every organization is having an objective. Every organization is having an objective. Give me a minute. My screen is not working properly. Why is not working? I'm not sure whether I need to restart my system. Yes, I think I need to restart my system. Yeah, just give me a moment here. There are some benefits of technology along with some drawbacks. If it's working, we will work. If it's not working, we'll not be able to work. These are the drawbacks of technology. TFE. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's working now. So we were discussing that management is about planning, organizing, communicating, or coordinating and controlling what activities of the business or the organization to achieve its objective. What is this planning, organizing, communicating, coordinating, and controlling? Every organization is having an objective. Some is having objective of profit, some is having other than profit. And to achieve that profit, organization have to do something. They have to act something. They have to perform something. Mean they have to perform their activities. Without performing activities, organization cannot achieve their objective. So what are the activities that organization need to perform to achieve its objective? We need to define those activities first. Whether we need to produce something like a goods and then we're gonna sell it. These are the activities. Either we have to buy ready-made product from one source and then delivering to the customer. These are your activities. Or you are delivering services like you are a hospital, you are a bank, you are an institute providing coaching classes. So these are your activities. So every organization having activities to achieve its objective. What are those activities? You need to define those activities, and defining those activities is called planning. Mean what we need to do. Okay, this we need to do to achieve our objective. That is called planning. Mean we will produce these things. We will produce how much quantity of these things, where we will produce, who will be involved in the production, and how we can sell to the customers. And after organizing planning, you have to organize your activities. Like if you are starting a business, you are having organization of producing goods and then selling to the customers. You need to organize your activities. Organize mean you need to divide the activities into different departments, into different peoples. Like who will be there, who is looking for purchasing, who will be involved in production, who will be involved in marketing, who will be involved in sale, who will be involved in IT function, who will be involved in accounting functions. So creating department, dividing responsibility into department, that is called organizing. If you haven't organized, things will not run in a smooth way. So you have to organize, meaning you have to divide your activities into different people, into different departments. Meaning you have to create an organizational chart, that is called organizing. So first we need to decide what activities we need to perform, planning, and then we need to divide activities into department, that is called organizing. So you have decided who will do what. Have you informed them? No. Then what? Next, you have to communicate to each department people. Okay, you will work in this department and you person will be responsible for purchasing. Okay, you people will work in production and you will be responsible for production only. You people will work in sales department and you will be having a responsibility to meet a sales target. So we need to communicate to the people where they should work. So we have defined our activities, we have divided activities into department, and then we have communicated to the people. Then what? We have to set the timings of the activities as well. Like when purchase will happen. Obviously, if purchase will happen, then production will start. If we have production, I mean production have produced the goods, then sales will happen. We cannot sell good without production. We cannot start production without purchasing. So this means we need to define timing of different department, timing and sequence of different activities, different department mean who will do first and then whose work will start. That is called coordination. If we don't set timings, sequence, there will be conflict between departments. If suppose purchase department haven't purchased on time, there will be delays in production. If production department haven't produced the goods on time, there will be delays in delivery and sales. Obviously, delivery and sale department will be having a conflict between production department. So to avoid this kind of conflicts, we need to coordinate the activities. I mean, we need to set a timings and a sequence of the activities. So we have decided what activities we need to perform. Then divided the activities into different departments, communicated to the people, set sequence and timing. But it is a human nature that people do not work without monitoring, without control. So what we need to do, we need to monitor as well. What we need to monitor, whether things are going as per our planning, organizing, coordinating or not. If we don't monitor, things will not go in smooth way. So we have to control, we have to review, we have to monitor whether every department is working as per the plan, organized and communicated way or not. So what is management? Management is about planning, organizing, communicating, coordinating, and controlling what activities of the business, why to achieve its objective. So in this way, we can define management. What is leadership? What is leadership? Leadership means influencing, persuading, or we can say guiding, directing others to accomplish our task. To accomplish our task, guiding, directing, influencing, persuading, or we can say motivating others to accomplish our task. This is called leadership. And leadership is different than management. Leadership is different than management. All managers are not leaders. Only those managers are leaders who are having leadership skills. What are leadership skills? Influencing, motivating others to complete a task. Those managers who are not influencing, motivating others, they are just doing their task. They are just meeting their targets. Those are called only managers, not leaders. So all managers are not leaders. Only those managers are leaders who are having leadership skills. What are the leadership skills? Influencing, motivating others. In this way, you can say the top management who are involved in planning, organizing, or communicating others how to accomplish a task, only those are leaders. And those managers who are just controlling, just reviewing, just monitoring, not guiding proper, not motivating others, are doing their task only. They are just managers, not leaders. So all managers are not leaders, but all leaders are managers. How come? Because leadership is a part of management. What is management? Planning, organizing, communicating, controlling, coordinating business activities. But those managers who are involved, especially in communicating, guiding, directing others, they are leaders who are just reviewing, monitoring. They are called supervisors. They are not leader. So all managers are not leader, but all leaders are managers because leadership is a part of management. So all leaders are managers because leadership is a part of management. But all managers are not leaders because those who are not influencing, motivating others, they are just managers, not leaders. Only those managers are leaders who are having leadership skills. What are the leadership skills? Influencing, motivating, influencing others, guiding others, directing others how to accomplish a task. Those who are just completing their task, not motivating others, they are only managers, not leaders. So can we differentiate management and leadership a little bit? What is supervision? Supervision means looking over someone. Mean to check whether someone is working properly or not. It is also called frontline management. Frontline management. Frontline management means there are three levels of management: strategic, tactical, and operational. So supervision is at operational level mainly. Frontline means where the work is performed. We have to check over there whether people are working properly or not. So this is called frontline management, mean looking over someone else, whether he is working as per direction or not. So let's see what is leadership. Leadership is an interpersonal influence directed towards the achievement of a goal or goals. It is a conscious activity and is concerned with setting goals and inspiring people influencing people, motivating people to achieve them. Mean the top level management is called leadership. Management is the effective use of coordination of business resources in order to achieve key objective with maximum efficiency. Management have an overall aim of ensuring everything that need to be done within an organization is done on time and on appropriate standards. How? Planning, organizing, coordinating, and controlling. A manager is not necessarily a leader, mean all managers are not leader. A manager will only be a leader if she is able to influence people to achieve organization goal without relying on the use of formal authority. Only those managers are leaders who are having leadership skills. What are leadership skills? Influencing, motivating, guiding others. What is supervision? A supervision is a person given responsibility for planning and controlling the work of a group of employees. Looking over someone, looking over employees. They are responsible for ensuring that specified tasks are performed uh, effectively and efficiently by the group. Supervisors are therefore the lowest level of management and act as interfere between management and the workers. Supervisors work on the front line of the organization. That's why they call front line management. And this means that they have several key functions. What are the functions of supervisors? They will also undertake technical or operational work along with the group they oversee. Technically, they are expert. They need to check the employees working under them are working properly or not. If they are not working, should help them how to work properly. Supervisor will typically expect you to provide advice and support to their items ordered or help solve their problems. They will usually monitor work of means by of details by information, and supervisors will often have the periodically summarize this information and pass it more to senior level management. They provide reports of the work done to the senior management whether the work has been done in proper manners or not. So we have differentiated between leadership, management, and supervision. Now we are moving towards three more definitions: authority, responsibility, and power. Authority, responsibility, and power. What is authority? Authority is the right to give orders. Authority is a right to give orders. Our authority is a right to do something or ask someone else to do something. And authority can be delegated to other people. It is a right to do something or ask someone else to do something. Either you will do by yourself without delegating, or you can delegate authority to others to do this. What is responsibility? Responsibility is the liability of a person to be called to account for his or her action. Accountability. Accountability. What is accountability? Accountability means answerability. Whatever the responsibility have been given to you, you are accountable, you are answerable for that. And you cannot deny your responsibility. You can complete your responsibility with the help of others. But if others are not doing proper, you will be answerable for them. This is called responsibility. Ability of a person to be called to account for his work. What is power? Authority is a right to do something, while power is the ability to do something. In giving orders to others because you have a power. For example, a manager may have the authority or right to ask one of his team to undertake a certain task. However, the team member could simply refuse. But if you have a power to give order to others to do something, they will not be refusing. So authority, ability to do something, right to do something. But power is ability to do something, giving order to others to do something. And powers are of having different types, how power transfer to another person, mean how a person in the organization is having power. Some powers are called reward power. This is when one person is able to reward another person for carrying out their duties because he is providing reward. So other person have to obey his orders because he is providing reward. So this kind of power is called reward power. For example, manager can offer pay rise to subordinates. This means subordinates have to obey their orders because he is having reward power. If they will not obey, they will not getting reward from that venture. Coercive power mean forcefully based on one person having the ability to punish another person for failing to carry out their orders satisfactorily. Mean he can punish others. And if people are working to avoid punishment, mean they are working under a threat, under a fear of losing the job. If we will not follow him, he can dismiss us. So this kind of power is called coercive power. Expert power. Expert power means someone is having an expert knowledge about a particular field. This occurs when one person is regarded by other as having specialist expertise or knowledge that order to do something because he is the expert in that area, and based on expertise, if he is guiding others, training others and asking to do something, that will be called expert power. It doesn't have any link with reward or punishment. Referral power. This is on the personal qualities of individual and often occurs when one person identifies with or wishes to intimidate another. Intimate means pressure. So if one person is having a quality like being a leader and he can pressurize other to do something. So if he is using that power, that will be called referent power. So reward power based on you are having ability to reward others. Coercive power, you are having ability to punish others. Expert power, you are the expert in that area. Like accounts manager, give work to junior accountants. And referent power, you have personal qualities. You have personal qualities to provide pressure on others. If they will not work, you can create any kind of pressure based on your personal qualities. And legitimate power mean according to law, you are having higher position and people working under you have to follow your orders. Because in the organization chart, you are having higher position. You are having the management position and the people working under you have to follow according to laws, according to rules, regulations. That will be called a legitimate power. Legitimate word mean legal, according to defined rules. So this is a power derived from being in position of authority within the organization. For instance, other employees will may follow the instructions of the senior manager simply because of their position at the top of organization hierarchy in the chart. Reward, coercive, expert, referent, and legitimate power. Other possible source of power may include means some people get power from different sources. What are the sources? Resource power. Like on organization resources, some people are having power. Like on your material, your supplier is having power. And on labor, the labor union representative, mean union leader will be having power to control the labor for the organization. And some people are having negative power. What is negative power? The ability to use disruptive behavior and attitude to prevent things from happening. Mean you are using your behavior, your attitude to control others. Again, a union could have this power over an organization, mean trade union. What is trade union? Group of employees. Obviously, the leader of trade union will be having a negative power, mean it could be negative for the organization. Like they can affect the organization. They can ask the organization to increase our pay, otherwise we will not work, because they are having a trade union group. So if they are using like this power, that will be called negative power. Though trade union exists to protect rights of employees, but if they are exploiting their union, their group against the organization, that will be called negative power. The link between authority and responsibility. It is important that a person is having a responsibility should have the authority as well. If you have assigned a sale manager responsibility to look at the sale and the look at the people working under him, he should have the authority as a sale manager as well. Then he can ask other to do the work. If he is having just responsibility but not the authority means to give task to other, to give order to others, then might be responsibility will not be performed properly. So what is authority without responsibility without authority? This may occur when a manager is held responsible, say for timekeeping, but doesn't have the authority to discipline subordinates who are regularly late. If he is a manager, he has been given authority of HR department, HR manager, then he can perform his responsibility properly. But like if an employee is coming late, he can ask him. An employee will follow him because he's a HR manager. They know he can affect us. If his designation is not manager, his designation is just like other employees, and you have given him responsibility, you need to keep record of employee working hours. You need to check who is working coming late, but he is not a HR manager. Then if he asks other employees, please come on time, employee will not bother. He cannot perform his responsibility proper because he's not having a authority. So to get responsibility proper, you need to provide authority with responsibility. A personnel department may have the authority to employ new members of staff. Personnel department, also called HR department, who manage personnel mean employees, but are not held responsible for the quality of the employees that they have selected. So managers who are not made accountable for their decision and action may act irresponsibly, as they do not expect to suffer any negative consequences. So always provide responsibility with our authority, and then you can ensure proper accountability, proper answerability. Without authority, if you are providing responsibility, then you cannot ensure accountability in proper way. So what we have learned in this chapter, the difference between management, leadership, supervision, and difference between authority, responsibility, and power, different types of power, and what is meant by responsibility with authority, and what is meant by responsibility without authority. Now we are moving towards theories on management. There are some theories on management written by different writers. Theories on management. There are two types of theories on management. One is called classical theories. The others are called modern theories. Mean how organization can be managed, different writers have defined their theories. One is saying these are the principles that organization need to follow to manage the organization. The other is saying no, not these principles should follow. But there are two types of writers: classical writers, mean old people, and modern writers called modern theories. So classical writer theories mainly focus on management of work. The focus of the writer was on Management of work mean how work can be managed in better way. How work can be managed in better way. While modern writers are focusing on management of work as well as people, mean to manage your organization in best way. You just not only have to focus on management of work, you have to focus on management of people as well, because who will perform the work? People. If they are motivated, they are willing, they will perform your work in better way. If your people are not motivated, not willing to work, then your work will not be managed. So the classical writer ignore the human aspects, mean people. But modern writer have focus on work as well as people, mean people are more important to manage the work. There are different theories in classical theories. Classical theories, there are two writers. One is called Taylor, other is called Henry Fayol. Taylor and Henry Fayol. The Taylor defined a theory on management that is called a scientific management. Scientific management. What is scientific management? Scientific management says if 3, 4 people are working on one task, what we need to do, we need to divide that task into different activities. We need to divide the task into different activities, and then we need to assign one person for one activity. Because if one person is focusing on one activity, he will be specialized in that. And through repetition, his time of producing the activities, producing the units will reduce, mean we can achieve efficiency as well as specialization if we divide the work into different people and assigning one person on one kind of work. Because he will be repeating again and again, so he will be specialized in that. And through repetition, his time to perform the task will get lower, and through this we can achieve efficiency. So this is what Taylor is saying, scientific management. Mean we need to divide the task into different activities and employing people to perform one activity so that we can achieve efficiency and specialization. So what is Taylor theory? First, there is a theory about Fayol, and then there is Taylor theory. So Taylor believed that by analyzing work in scientific manner, science of work mean divide the work into smaller tasks and then employ one person on one task. It was possible to find the one best way to perform a task. Mean we need to find first what is the best way to perform the task. Mean there could be different ways to perform a task. We should perform the task through all different ways. And we need to identify which way is best. Best mean in which we have performed the task more quickly. That is called best way, or that will be called science of work. That will be called best way or science of work. And according to his scientific management, there are 4 principles that business need to follow. There are 4 scientific management principles that business need to follow. What are the principles? There should be analyzed in detail, determine most efficient method to use. There should be planned maximum efficiency. Mean you need to perform the task through all the methods, and you need to identify what is the most efficient method. That will be called science of work. Then you need to employ people on that task, and that people should be trained properly. They should have the skill to do the job. If they are not trained, you need to train them first. So first you need to identify the most efficient method of doing the task. Mean you need to identify science of work, and then you have to appoint skilled, trained people. And then what you need to do, the science of work and trained people should work together. Mean assign the task efficient that you have identified through performing from different way and identify one way. And what you need to assign trained people. So managers should make all key decisions and provide detailed instruction to workers to ensure that tasks are carried out in most efficient way possible. And workers and managers should work closely together. The manager's role is not to just sit in the office and give order. No, they should also work with the workers and they should guide the workers properly. And if workers are not performing properly, managers have to perform by themselves because we need to achieve efficiency and specialization. So first we need to identify science of work. Second, we need to select skilled and trained workers. Then we need to combine science of work and skilled workers to achieve efficiency. And workers and managers should work together. They should cooperate with each other. Managers have to work with the employees. If they are struggling in any kind of work, managers have to perform themselves. So these are the four principles of scientific management. And then there was a writer called Henry Fayol. He suggested how to manage the business. He suggested to manage the business, managers have to perform five functions of management. What are the five functions of management planning? In deciding what activities we need to perform to achieve objective. Organizing, dividing activities into different departments, defining role responsibility of different people. Commanding communicating guidance, direction to others. Coordinating, setting sequence, timing of the activities. And controlling we need to review, we need to monitor and supervise whether activities are working as per plan or not. So these two are the classical management theorists who are defining how to manage the business. So according to Taylor, how to manage the business through scientific management. To follow these four principles of scientific management. And according to Fayol, how business can be managed? According to Fayol, management have to perform these five functions: planning, organizing, commanding communicating, coordinating setting sequence timings, and controlling review monitor of activities. And then they come different modern writers arrive. But modern writers have criticized the classical theories of management. What they criticize, they were just focusing on the job, on the task rather than people. Human element was ignored. They were treating workers like a clone, not like a human being. So to manage organization in better way, we need to focus on management of work as well as management of people. We need to focus on human relation as well. And the first writer in modern theory was Alton Mayo. And according to Alton Mayo, we need to focus on people relationship. We not just only focus on management of work, we need to focus on managing people as well. And people can be managed by having a good relationship, by having informal communication with them. And we should prefer teamwork. Because he has performed, this Alton Mayo writer has performed a experiment at Hawthorne Work of Western Electric Company in Chicago. What he does, he created different teams of people. Instead of allowing people to work individually, he created different teams of people, and then he has given them tasks. And the productivity, the performance was much better than people who were working on their own alone. And he has identified the performance was better in team because people are having social group with each other. They are having a relationship with each other. Through relationship, they are supporting each other. and they are producing more than they were working individually. So he concluded that to get best out of employees or to manage organization in better way, we need to focus on relationship between employees themselves and managers and employee themselves. If you're having good relationship, you can ask the employee anything and they will do it. If you're not having good relationship with the employees, they will not obey your orders. How you can maintain good relationship? Through effective communication. If you are effectively communicating with your employees, you can create a good relation with the employees, and through good relation, you can achieve efficiency more. So that is what Alton Mayo has said. I mean, human relation was important. And the early writer before him, Alton Mayo, was ignoring this human relation, was ignoring management of people. They were just focusing on management of work only. And there comes some other modern writers. One of them is Peter Drucker. And according to Peter Drucker, to manage the organization, you have to focus on 5 basic operations. Mean 5 basic functions of the organization. What managers need to do, they need to set objective of the organization. Mean prepare budget, set objective, define activities. They need to organize the activities of the organization. Mean they have to prepare organizational chart. They have to divide the activities into different departments. They have to motivate and communicate others, because if they do not communicate with others, the other will not be knowing what we need to perform. They need to motivate, influence others so that they can perform better way. They can put more effort if employees are motivated. And they have to set check performance of the organization. Means set yardstick. Yardstick means targets. Mean they have to measure performance of other people. How they can measure performance? By comparing actual performance with the target budget. Budget is also called yardstick. Yardstick means target. And then they have to develop people as well. Develop mean who are working under you. You have to guide them. You have to direct them. You have to give them training. You have to give them resources. So according to Peter Drucker, to manage the business in proper way, management have to follow 5 functions: planning, organizing, commanding, measuring performance, and targeting. So we have covered 2 of the classical theories, Taylor and Henry Fayol, and 2 of the modern theories, Alton Mayo, human relation theory, and Peter Drucker, 5 functions of management. Then there comes another modern writer that is called Mintzberg. And according to Mintzberg, to manage a business, managers have to perform 9 different roles in the organization. And those roles have been grouped into 3 categories. Some roles are relating to interpersonal category. Some roles are relating to informational category, and some roles are relating to dissemination category. What are the interpersonal role? Interpersonal role are figurehead, leader, and a liaison. So managers are the figurehead. Figurehead means representative of the organization. They need to represent the organization to the outer world because they are the representative. They are the figurehead of the organization. Managers has to become leader. They have to guide. They have to influence. They have to inspire, motivate others to complete a task. And manager have to liaise. Liaise mean a link. Mean they need to create link between different departments, because each department will communicate with the other through their managers. So if they are communicating with their managers, they are creating a link through managers. That is called liaison role of managers. And then there are 3 Managers roles under information heading monitor, disseminator, and spokesperson. What is the meaning of monitor? To manage business, you have to look, you have to monitor different factors of the organization, and those factors, some are within the organization, some are outside the organization that affect the organization. What are those outside factors? Those are called pastoral factors. So what manager need to do, they need to analyze the environment, mean they have to identify these pastoral factors in the environment and their impact on the organization and prepare strategy according to those factors. Mean managers need to monitor environmental factors, mean factors outside the organization that can affect the organization. And managers need to disseminate. Disseminate mean to spread. Spread mean the top level management decision has to be spread at a lower level, has to be communicated at lower level. This is the role of managers. And spokesperson mean managers are the spokesperson on behalf of a group. If any group have achieved something or any group is demanding any support from the top management, who will speak on behalf of the group members? The managers, because they are the spokesperson of the group. So three interpersonal role are figurehead, leader, liaison, and information role are monitor, disseminator, and spokesperson. And then managers have to perform four roles under the head decision making, that are entrepreneur, disturbance handler, resource allocator, and negotiator. So manager should perform a role of entrepreneur. Entrepreneur means risk-taking abilities. Like business is the name of risk-taking. Higher the risk, higher the return, lower the interest, lower the interest. A business will take risk, they will get more benefit. How they can take risk? To adopt new changes, to adopt new technologies, there will be a problem, there will be a risk. But if you adopt new technologies, you will progress more than your competitor. So this role should be performed by the managers, because if they adopt a first step towards innovation, to adopting new changes, employee will follow you. If you are having a fear of following new technology, new rules, new innovation, then you will not become innovative, because you are not a risk taker. So all the decision where risk is involved, who has to decide them? Managers. Disturbance handler mean if there is any disturbance going on in the organization, like there is a strike by the employees, who should have to consult and handle it? Managers. And resource allocator, where the money should be spent, where that person should be spent, where that car should be spent, who will decide? Manager will decide how resources should be allocated. And negotiator mean if there is a conflict between two departments, it is the responsibility of managers to negotiate between two departments so that they can reach towards a common agreement. So what are the role of managers? Figurehead, leader, liaison, monitor, disseminator, spokesperson, entrepreneur, decision making, resource power, and negotiator. So let's take a break. After break, we will cover theories on leadership. Chapter 18. We have discussed about theories on management. Now we are moving towards theories on leadership. What is a leadership? What is a leadership? We have discussed about it. What is a leadership? Influencing, motivating others to accomplish a specific task. Influencing, motivating others to accomplish a specific task. And all managers are not leaders. Only those managers are leaders who have leadership skills. There are different theories on leadership. Theories on leadership. And theories on leaderships have been grouped into three categories. One is called trait theories. Other is called style theories. And third category is called contingency theories. Trait theories, style theories, and contingency theories. Trait mean qualities. According to trait theories, leadership depends upon certain qualities of leadership. If an individual is having the qualities of leadership, he will be a leader. If individual is not having leadership qualities, he will not become leader. And those traits, those qualities are by born. By birth, some individuals are having leadership qualities and they become leaders. And some individuals by birth, they don't have qualities and they do not become leaders. And these trait theories writers have been criticized afterward. No, these qualities of leadership are not by born. These leadership qualities can be taught through training, through skill development, through education. These qualities can be taught. But leadership depends upon certain qualities of leadership. If individual having quality, they will become leader. Then there comes some style theories. Different writers have defined different styles of leadership. I mean, there are some leaders who just dominate the subordinates, just putting their order on subordinates without explaining why they need to do this. I mean, dictatorial leadership style. There are some kind of leader who not impose the decision on the subordinates. They consult, they involve the subordinates in making a decision, and through their involvement, they define the decision. And some styles are better than others. Mainly there are two styles: authoritarian. Authoritarian means decision imposed by the leader without consulting the subordinates. And subordinates have to follow his decision, otherwise he will dismiss them. The other style is called a democratic style. Democratic means leader, before making a decision, consulting the subordinates, involving the subordinates, taking their views, and then he is deciding. And some writers say this style is better, democratic, because you are involving the people, you are taking their views. Workers will be working against your decision willingly. If you are imposing a decision through authoritarian style, they will not be working willingly. There will be no motivation towards work. I mean, this style is better. Then there comes some writer called contingency theories. Contingency mean according to situation or circumstances. Situation or circumstances. According to contingency theory, yes, there are different styles of leadership, either authoritarian or democratic, but which style is best? It depends upon situation and circumstances. If your subordinates are skilled, competent, qualified people, then democratic style is best. Consult them while making a decision, involve them while making a decision, take their inputs. This will motivate them. This will help to utilize their knowledge, their skills. But if your workers are illiterate, laborers who are not skilled, then there is no need to consult them. Just decide the decision and imposed on them. In that situation, authoritarian style is better. If you need to make quick decisions, then authoritarian style is better. Just decide and inform the others to do this. Because if you will involve others, it will take times. By taking their views will take time. So in case of emergency, you need to make quick decisions, then authoritarian style is better. But if there is no emergency, you have enough time to decide, then democratic style is better. So which style is better depends upon the situation, circumstances. So according to trait, there are certain qualities. If individual having those qualities, he will become leader. Without qualities, he will not becoming leader, and leadership qualities are by born. According to style theories, there are different style of leader, and this style is better, this style is not better. But according to contingency, there are different style of leadership, and which style is better depending upon the contingency. Contingency means situation, circumstances. If you are having skilled people working under you, then democratic style is better. If unskilled workers are working under you, then there is no need to consult them. You need to impose the decision on them, authoritarian style. Let's study what different writers says about it. So trait theories, these argue that good leader have certain natural attributes or qualities that allow them to lead, natural, such as a cheerful personality or fairness. Leaders are therefore born, not made. That's the style theory writer or contingency theory have criticized. No, these qualities can be taught through training, through skill development, through qualification. Style theories, these argue that certain leadership approaches or style can be learned and used by the managers. They are not by born, depending upon the situation being contingency. So according to Blake and Mountain comes under style theories, and they define a grid. And according to them, leaders are involved in two types of concern, either concern for people or concern for task, concern for production, or you can say concern for task. Leaders are having two concern. They are having two focus. Either they are focusing on people, either they are focusing on the completion of task, not people. Management of work, management of people. And some leaders are having a high concern for people. Some are having low concern for people. Some leaders are having a high concern for task and some are having low concern for task. So they have a plotted concern for task and concern for people on a grid. On x-axis, they plotted concern for task, low or high. 0 mean no concern for task. 1 a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more, medium concern for task 5, and 9 mean high concern for task. And on y-axis, they have plotted concern for people. 0 mean no concern for people. 1 mean a little bit concern for people. 2 mean a little bit more. 3 mean a more. 4 mean more. 5 mean medium. 6 bit more, and 9 mean very high concern for people. And according to this grid of concern for task, concern for people, they have identified 5 styles of leadership. Here they have plotted 1-1. 1-1 mean Low concern for task, low concern for people. One mean low concern for task and low concern for people. And they named it empowers the style. What they name it? Empowers the style. Empowers to mean poor. Mean this is a poor style of leadership because leader is not focusing on the task and not focusing on the people. This is the worst type of leader. Mean this leadership style is not best. This is worst style of leadership, worst style of leadership. Here 9-1. The first digit is concerned for task and the second digit is concerned for people. Mean high concern for task 9 and low concern for people mean 1 here. So high concern for task and low concern for people, and they call it task oriented leader. Mean this style name is task oriented leader. Mean this leader is just focusing on the task rather than people. He is just focusing on achieving the target, achieving the budget, achieving the objective. And to achieve target, to achieve objective, if he has to redundant employees, mean dismiss employees to achieve efficiency, to improve efficiency, if he need to reduce employees, redundant employees, he will not care about it because his focus is not on people. What is focus? On task, achieving target, achieving objective, achieving the budget. Mean you can say authoritarian style, not caring about people. And here 1, the first digit is for task and second digit 9 is for people. 1 and 9. 1 mean low concern for task and 9 mean high concern for people. So low concern for task and a high concern for people, and he called this style as country club style. Country club mean why club has been created to focus on people, to provide benefit to people. So this leader is just focusing on the people rather than the task. Mean he is caring about relationship. He is caring about others. Mean this is not a good leader. He will not achieve the target. He will not achieve the budget because he is caring about people, not about tasks. Mean he will not ask other to do more because while asking might be my relationship will be affected. And then he has plotted 5-5 in the middle. The 5-5 mean medium concern for task and medium concern for people. Medium concern for task and medium concern for people. He called this style. Let me check what he called this style. Middle of the road. Middle of the road. Mean leader showing enough task concern for task and enough task for people, but not fully. Mean he is underutilized, underachieved. Mean he will not focusing on anything full, showing enough whatever he can. And then he has identified 9-9. Mean first digit is 9 for task and 9 for people. Mean high concern for task and high concern for people. And he called this leadership style team management. Team management mean leader focusing on task as well as people, mean building a good team of people so that through team they can achieve the target, they can achieve the objective, they can achieve the budget. And according to Blake and Mountain, What's the writer name? Blake and Moulton. They have defined this 9-9 team management style of leadership is the best style of leadership. According to style theories, there are different styles of leadership. And there are certain styles which are best. So according to Blake and Moulton, they says leader have two focus, two concern for task or concern for people. Some leader show high concern for task, some show low concern for task. As well as the other attribute of leader is concern for people. Some show very high concern for people and some show low concern for people. And they have devised a grid according to concern for task and concern for people. And according to that grid, Blake and Moulton grid, they have identified 5 style of leadership. One leader is showing low concern for tasks, low concern for people, and they called it empowered style, poor style of leadership, worst type of leader who is not focusing on tasks, even not on people. 1-9, low concern for task and high concern for people, and they called it country club style. I mean, this leader is focusing on people, is running organization like a club. 9-1 mean high concern for task and low concern for people. They called it task-oriented leader, mean leader is focusing on task, focusing on achieving objective. And to achieve objective, to reduce cost, if he need to reduce staff, he will redundant the employees without caring about them. They will be losing job, he will not care about them because he is focusing on task only. And 5-5, medium concern for task, medium concern for people, middle of the road, but he is underachieved, he is not achieving full. But he is showing enough concern for task and people. And according to Blake and Moulton, the best style of leadership is 9-9, where leaders show high concern for task and high concern for people. And this is called team management style. So management impoverished, this manager only makes minimum effort in either area and will make the smallest possible efforts required to get the job. I mean, this is 1-1. 1-9. The first digit is for task and the second digit is for people, mean low concern for task, high concern for people, country club style. This manager is thoughtful and attentive to the need of people, which lead to comfortable, friendly organization atmosphere, but very little work is actually achieved, mean he will not focus on achieving targets. And 9-1, high concern for task, low concern for people. Task management, task-oriented leader. This manager is only concerned with production and arrange work in such a way that people interference is minimized, meaning he will not care about people. And 5-5, medium concern for task, medium concern for people, middle of the road. This is manager who is ambivalent in style towards the task and people, but achieves only moderately good result are both dimensions, mean he is underachieved, not utilizing fully. And a 9-9 team management, high concern for task, high concern for people. This managers integrate the two areas to foster working together and a high production to produce them leader. And according to Blake and Moulton, 9-9 is the best style of leadership. What are the benefits of this grid? This grid show areas where management fully can be identified either on training people or development, an appraisal and management development tool to inform managers that attention to both tasks or people, and manager can be determine how they are viewed by their subordinates. But there are some drawbacks. Grid assume that leader style can be categorized into two dimensions. The position of team management is accepted at the best, where he is considering high concern for tasks, high concern for people, while in reality, there are very few managers, very rare who are focusing on both these things. Even in some situation, you have to focus more on tasks. In disturbance situation, you have to focus more on people. Then another style writer called Ashridge, the Ashridge College, they defined there are four style of leadership: tell, sell, consult, and join. According to Ashridge model, there are four style of leadership: tell, sell, consult, and join. Tell mean leader is autocratic. Autocratic mean leader is dictator. He is imposing decision on the subordinates without explaining why they have to follow this decision. He is asking the subordinates to follow my decision, otherwise you will be dismissed. Otherwise you will see punishment from me. Means subordinates are working just to avoid dismissal. Mean he is motivating others through fear of job losing. Mean people will not be working willingly. They will be working under fear. So, a leader is imposing decision on the subordinates, but by explaining a reason why have made this decision, so that subordinates at least know why they have to follow this. And defining some reward. If you work, you will receive this reward. Mean he is motivating others. He is trying to make willing others. Sales mean make willing others to accept and act on his decision. Mean not like imposing, not like motivating through fear. He's motivating through rewards. He's explaining the reason behind the decision, why I have made the decision, so that subordinate at least know why we need to work this. Mean create a little bit of willingness among subordinates to accept the decision. Mean there will be some willingness. Consult mean before making the decision, leader consulting with the subordinates. This is the problem we are facing, taking their views, and then leader deciding by himself. Either he should decide according to views of the subordinates, either he should decide by his point of view. But he is consulting the subordinates before making the final decision. Who is making decision? Leader himself. What is joint democratic style? Leader explaining the problem to the subordinates, asking the subordinates, okay, come together, we will decide together. Leader and subordinates, they all are involving in deciding the decision. Means subordinates are providing their proper input into the decision. Leader is involved with the subordinates. Leader and subordinates all will decide the finalize the decision. Intel, leader finalized the decision and imposed on the subordinates without explaining anything. In cell, leader imposed the decision with explanation, with justification why I have made this decision. And in consult, without finalizing, leader consulting subordinates, taking their views as well. But it's up to the leader whether he should accept their views or not. In joint, leader have to accept the views of subordinates. In fact, subordinates, leaders, all are involved in finalizing the decision. And according to Ashridge, consult style is best style of leadership. Obviously, leader is having better qualities than subordinates. He need to decide by himself. But he need to consult. He need to take views of the subordinates first, then he should decide. So according to Ashridge, which style is better? Consult style. But he says, tell must be best in a situation of crisis where you need to make decision quickly, where subordinates are not having abilities, qualification, or skills, then you need to impose the decision on them. Or sell is more better than tell, because at least you are explaining the reason why you have made that decision. But if your subordinates are skilled, competent, and you have enough time to make a decision, then consult or join are better. mean according to situation. What are the contingency theories? Contingency theories mean there is no best style, all styles are best. But according to the situation, circumstances, we need to adopt the leadership style. In case of emergency, business is in crisis, our subordinates do not having skills, then no need to consult them, no need to join them. You need to impose decision by yourself. Because single leader can make decision quick. If you consult with others, it takes time. It will waste time. But if you're having enough time, there is no emergency situation and your subordinates are skilled, competent, qualified people, then don't impose decision on them. Always try to consult them. Always try to join them in making decisions. And in contingency theory, we are having a first writer called Adair. And Adair defined his leadership theory called action-centered leadership. According to action-centered leadership, who is a best leader? Who is having skills to manage three different factors? What are the three different factors? Task, individual, and group. Mean a leader is best if he is having the skills to manage these three factors: task, individual, and team. What is meant by managing tasks? Managing tasks mean you should have a skill of setting objective of the task. You should have a skill to plan the task, how it should be performed. You should have a skill to allocate responsibilities to people to accomplish the task. And you should have the skills to setting performance standards, mean how we can control the task. Mean setting objective of the task, planning about the objective, organizing mean allocating responsibilities, and controlling. If leader is not having qualities to manage the task, then he will not be a good leader. But he shouldn't have only quality to manage the task. He should have quality to manage the individuals and manage the team as well. How to manage individual? You need to train individual. You need to provide counseling to the individual, help to the individual. You have to develop your individual, mean developing their knowledge, their skills through training. And you need to motivate the individuals. You need to influence the individuals to create willingness among the individuals so that they can perform more better. But not only individual, you have a skill to manage the team as well. How we can manage the team? You should have a skills of communication with the team, because if there is no communication, there will be no relationship between the team members. If there will be no good relationship, they will not helping each other. So you should create good communication between the team. You should build a proper team. Build a proper team mean defined role responsibility of each member in the team. You should motivate the team so that they should work together if they are having high motivation, high satisfaction. And you should maintain discipline among the team. If there are conflict, you have to resolve the conflict so that they should work together. So good leader must have skills to manage the task, manage the individual, and manage the team. In some situations, might be you needed more to manage the task rather than managing team and individual. In some situation, might be you need skills of managing the group more rather than managing task and individual. In some situation, managing individuals will be required more and managing team and task will be required less. But a good leader is that who is having skills to manage all these three. If you are having skills only to manage tasks or only to manage individual or only to manage team, then you will not be a good leader. Good leader must have skills to manage all these three areas: task, individual, and team. Because according to situation, according to circumstances, you have to focus whether now you have to manage the task, Whether now you have to manage the team or whether now you have to manage the individual or you have to manage all three. But if you are lacking in any of the quality, you will not be a good leader. And then under contingency theory, there is a writer called Fiedler. Fiedler also defined his contingency theory. And he said leadership styles are of two types. Psychological distant manager and psychological close manager. Psychological distant manager mean focus on task, mean far away from people. Mean they are not focusing on people, they are focusing on task more. And psychological close manager mean focus on people, focus on relationship, focus on interpersonal communication, friendship with people. So there are two types of leader, there are two style of leader. Psychological distant manager leadership style mean focus on task oriented, and psychological close manager mean focus on people oriented leader. What is psychological distance? Seek to keep their distance from subordinates by formalizing roles and relationship with the team, are withdrawn and reserved in their interpersonal relationship. We're not focusing on close relationship with people, prefer formal communication and consultation method rather than seeking informal opinion, are primarily task oriented, mean focusing on task only. And psychological close mean do not seek to formalize roles and relationship, mean informal, creating friendship with the people so that they should be liked by other. Prefer informal contacts to regular staff meeting, are primarily person oriented, people oriented rather than task oriented. And which leadership style is best? It depends upon work situation. Which leadership style is best? It depends upon the circumstances or work situation. And work situation is depending upon three factors: the relationship between the leader and the subordinates, either good or bad, the extent to which the task is defined and structured, either highly formally precisely defined or not precisely defined, and the power of the leader, whether he is having high power or low power. And he suggested the work situation could be either favorable or either unfavorable. If work situation is favorable, then you need psychological distant manager, task oriented. If work situation is unfavorable, then you need psychological close manager, mean people focused. So Fiedler suggested that the situation is most favorable for managers when they have a strong relationship with the group. They are managing group task is well defined and power of the leader to reward the punish the high team. And Fiedler research indicated that PDM stands for psychological distant manager, mean task oriented approach work best when the situation is either very favorable or very unfavorable to the leader. But people close manager, psychological close manager approach work best when the situation is only moderately favorable for the leader. So work situation could be either favorable, either unfavorable, or moderately favorable. What is meant by favorable work situation? There is good relationship between leader and the subordinates. Highly structured tasks mean rules, regulation precisely defined, and the leader is having a high power. In that case, the work situation will be favorable, mean good relationship, formally structure the task, and a high power of the leader. In that case, the work situation will be favorable. When the work situation will be unfavorable, when there is not good relationship between leader and subordinates, when formally structure is not defined and leader is having low power, in that case work situation will be unfavorable. And what is meant by moderate favorable? Moderate favorable mean either 2 points is strong and 1 point is weak. And according to Finder, when the work situation is favorable or unfavorable, in that case task oriented leader will be best. Task oriented leader will be best. And when the work situation is moderate favorable, in that situation people oriented leader will be most best. Who is people oriented? According to him, people oriented will be psychological close manager, PCMs. 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 And what is task oriented? Psychological distant manager, PDMs. This is the main crux of his theory. According to Finder, there are two styles of leadership. Psychological distant manager mean away from people. This means task oriented, focus on task. Psychological close manager mean close to the people, people oriented, focus on people. And which style is better? It depends upon work situation. If the work situation is favorable or unfavorable, in that case, if the work situation is favorable or unfavorable, if the work situation is favorable or unfavorable, in that case, task oriented mean psychological distant manager will be most effective. And if the work situation is moderate favorable, then people oriented mean psychological close manager will be most effective. So we have studied two style leadership theories. One is mountain and Blake and Mountain grid, and other is Ashridge theory. And we have studied two contingency theory, Adair action centered leadership and Fielder contingency theory. Now we are moving towards another contingency theory of Banis. Banis have differentiated between managers and leaders. Banis has differentiated between managers and leaders, mean management and leadership. Managers mean management and leader mean leadership. He called management as a transactional leadership. Transactional leadership. And he called leadership as a transformational leadership. Transformational leadership. What is transformation? Transformation means something new, innovation. Origination. What is transactional leadership? Transaction means there will be no innovation, just focusing on control and system. Mean leading transaction, performing transaction of the business, nothing something new, not focusing on something new. And manager's work is to manage a transaction of the business, mean routine things, just controlling the business, just controlling the system, just performing the transactions. While leadership is transformation leadership, mean doing something new. Mean leader focus on innovation, origination. While managers, what they do, they just imitate what the leader have originate. While a leader is innovator, is a originator, mean he always try to do something new. Leader focus on people, mean motivating, influencing, inspiring others. While managers focus is on system. Whatever the organization system is, they need to focus on it. And management is called transactional leadership, mean focusing on transaction of the business, while leadership is something different. What is something different? Transformation. Transformation mean to do something new. Innovation, origination, not copying mean imitating others. Imitate mean to copy others. So what is Banner saying? Transformational leadership. His theory name is transformation leadership, and he has differentiated between transaction leadership. Transaction leadership mean management, while transformation leadership mean leadership. What is transaction leadership? The leaders see the relationship with their followers in terms of trade. They give followers the reward they want in exchange for service, loyalty, and compliance, mean doing nothing new. While transformation leadership see their role as inspiring and motivating others to work at level, mean focusing on people beyond more compliance. Only transformation leader is said to be able to change, originate, innovate culture and move them in a new direction. New direction mean innovation. And then there come another writer called Cotter. He said, who is a leader who know how to manage the change in the organization? Organization never ever go in the similar situation in the similar way. Nowadays, you have to change your organization. You have to move forward. And who help the organization in managing a change, in defining change? Only the leader. Because they are innovator, they are creator, they are originator. Manager cannot manage a change. And while making changes in the organization, there are some people who resist the changes because they don't want to work in new ways. Everybody try, like as we are working, things should be like that. Because the new things, they have to learn, they have to work a little bit more initially. It creates some problem for the already working people. So while making change, leader will face some resistance. And who is best leader? Who is managing that resistance and making changes happen. How you can manage the resistance from the employees? There are different strategies, there are different tactics that leaders adopt. To make willing the people, mean to avoid the resistance of people towards a change, what tactic they apply? Participate and involve the subordinates into making the changes. Because if you involve the subordinates into making changes, they will feel, okay, changes are important because they are involved in the changes. They will accept the change. They will not resist the change. Or one way to educate and communicate them in explaining a reason behind the change, why the change is important for us, mean need to educate them, need to communicate them why we are making changes, so that employee should be willing and they should reduce the resistance towards change. Or other way, you can facilitate and support the employees. Like if suppose you are changing your manual organization to computerized organization. So might be employees are resisting because they do not have the skills to work on computer system. So if you are providing them training, facilitation means providing them training how to work in the new system, through this might be they reduce the resistance. So while making changes, leader should have the skills to reduce the resistance. Reduce the resistance means try to make willing other people to accept the change. How you can make willing other people to accept the change? By involving them in making changes, by providing them the reason why we are making changes, or by providing them facilitation and support like some kind of training how you can work in the new system. Or by manipulating and cooperation mean, okay, we will not making change 100% now, we will change 50% now, 50% afterward. That is called manipulation, so that they should be able to accept the change if they are not accepting full change. Or there could be some ways having negotiation dialogue with them. Okay, tell me why you people are afraid of change, why you people are not accepting change, what you want. Me negotiating with them, mean what they want so that they can accept change. Might be they want more pay, might be they want more relaxation. So you provide them their want, needs, and you make your objective of change happen. So these are different tactics that leader should adopt while making changes, because only the leader can make change, managers cannot make change. Then there is another writer called Heifetz, and Heifetz defined that a good leadership is based on authority plus responsibility. A good leadership is based on authority plus responsibility, and a leader have to motivate the others in times of making changes. He has to consult the subordinates, and according to subordinates' willingness, he should make change happen. He should not impose decision. He should not impose decision. He should consult the employees while making changes, and he should use his leadership quality so that everybody else should accept him as a leader. If you are imposing decision on the subordinates, nobody will accept you as a leader. Nobody will respect you as a leader. To gain respect, you have to show some qualities. You have to involve others. You have to create good relationship with others. So he was argued that the main role of manager is to help people to face reality and mobilize them to make changes where necessary. A true leader doesn't necessarily have all the answers. Instead, they encourage people to tackle tough challenges themselves, mean making changes happen with people consultation, with people involvement, not doing all things by you as a leader. In addition, he first suggested that everyone within the organization may provide some degree of leadership in certain circumstances. This means that leader may sometimes simply emerge other than being formally appointed by the organization. This is referred as dispersed leadership, meaning you have to involve others. You have to delegate your decision-making authority to others so that others should also be involved in making a decision. So this chapter has ended now. What we have studied: difference between management, leadership, and supervision. Difference between management, leadership, and supervision. And then we have studied difference between authority, power, and responsibility. Then we have studied different types of power: reward power, coercive power, expert power, referent power, legitimate power, resource power, negative power. Difference between responsibility with authority and without authority. And theories on management: classical Taylor theory, and Fayol theory, and modern theories of Alton Mayo, human relationship, Peter Drucker, 5 responsibilities of management, functions of management, and Mintzberg, 10 role of managers, figurehead, representative, leader, motivator, guider, liaison, creating link between different departments, monitor, monitoring the factors in the environment, disseminator, spreading management decision to lower level, and spokesperson to speak on behalf of the group. And decision making 4 roles: entrepreneurial, risk taker in making changes, disturbance handler, resolving problem, resource allocator, deciding where resources should be used, and negotiator, mean creating dialogue to avoid conflict. And then leadership theories, trait theories, style theories, Blake and Mountain, Ashridge style of leadership, and then contingency, Adair, action-centered leadership, task, individual, team, Fielder, 2 types of leadership, psychological distance, psychological close, work situation, Banish, transaction, transformation, leadership difference. What is leadership? Transformation. What is management? Transaction leadership. John Potter, how changes can be managed by adopting different styles. And Heffert's, delegating authority to lower level. Now moving towards MCQs. Number 1. If a manager justifies an instruction to a subordinates by saying, because I am a qualified accountant, the manager is relying on which of the following base of power? Qualified based on skills, preferent, reward, mean he's distributing reward, no, legitimate, legal position, expert, he is a qualified accountant, this means this is expert. Number 2, which of the following statement best describe the classical approach to management? Focusing on task, not people. Different employees will be motivated by different things. No, they are not focusing on people. Communication should be encouraged. No, communication is about creating a relationship with people, but they are not focusing on people. One best approach exists. I mean, there is no concern for people. An employee is considered an input to the organization system. No, they are not focusing on people. So what is the correct option? Option C. There is one best approach. Okay, work should be done like this, whether employees like or do not like. Number 3, timing in the use of new information system. Training is the use of new information system is a means of overcoming resistance to change by facilitation and support, education and communication, participation and involvement, or negotiation. What is training? Facilitation and support, yes. C, manage a small team of workers. He has recently asked his team for suggestion as to how they can improve their efficiency. And he's taking views of the subordinates. The team member have made several suggestions. I mean, they have provided their views, but C doesn't feel they are practical and has decided to adopt a different approach, and he decided by himself, but he has consulted them. According to Ashridge Management College, what management style is a C demonstrating? Tell, sell, consult, join. Consult, yes. In a recent staff survey, managers F has been identified as a highly focused on meeting production needs, task oriented, but having little real concern for the well-being of employees who report to her, mean showing no concern for people. According to Blake and Mountain, which key point on the managerial grid is F being placed at by the staff survey? Empowers, team management, country club, or task management. Empowered, no concern for task, no concern for people. Team management, high concern for task, high concern for people, but he is showing high concern for task, but low concern for people. Country club, more concern for people. So task management, more concern for task, less concern for people. Which of the following is not one of the element of management as identified by Fayol? What are the elements of management? Planning, organizing, commanding, coordinating, controlling. Which one is not? Commitment is not. So that's it. Hopefully, we'll see you in next class. When we will be having next class, next 3 days are off.